Welcome back to Face the State. I'm Ariana Bennett. Thank you for staying with us. Well, among the many programs overseen by the Nevada Department of Agriculture is the Organic Certification Program, but due to funding issues, that program is on the chopping block. Now we're back with Jim Barbie, now the State Department of Agriculture Director, to talk about that. Thank you once again for being with us.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I want to start at the very basics here. What exactly does it mean to be certified organic?
So the federal USDA has an organic certification program that is a federal certification program. It's not something that's specific or unique to Nevada. And so what that does is it talks about how the produce is produced and largely focused on reducing or eliminating pesticides that are used in raising that product, which requires more labor-intensive practices to produce that product without those organics. So what the Department of Agriculture's organic program does, like some of the private programs that we have out there, it actually goes out and ensures that that is what's happening and that they have safety processes in place, that they can verify that that product was produced under that certification program.
So in order for a food to put on its label organic, does it have to be certified?
Correct. That is by federal law the requirement that they have to have gone through a certification program.
Okay, and that's different from a lot of the other buzzwords we hear about healthy foods these days, all natural.
Correct.
Or even different from something that might say cage-free or free range, that sort of thing?
Yes, very different.
Is there a certification process for those other things?
I think they have different measurement levels, but those aren't an organized certification. That's kind of a commonly agreed upon method of production.
Okay, so organic is the one.
Very defined.
And
yes.
when you see it on the label, you know that it's been certified.
Correct.
Okay, now Nevada has one, but there are other ways of getting certified, correct?
Correct. Actually, Nevada's organic certification program is no different than the private certification programs. We actually go through the same process, and I think we have 9 right now private certifiers that are certifying organic producers in the state. And so they have to go through the same hoops we do. We have to go through the same hoops they do. It requires that we have staff that go back to DC and are trained in specifically the parts that they have to certify, how the program works. Then we go through an audit. They go through an audit to where someone comes out and they review the program to make sure that all of their standards are being upheld to, so that that label means what it means when it's put on a package.
So then what's the difference between the state certification program and private entities?
In terms of the product, nothing. I mean, the difference is for us is that we have one located at the Department of Agriculture.
So if this program were to get cut, the producers in Nevada would have a venue for getting it done, but it would be more expensive, I assume?
Yeah, so we have 78, I believe, organic producers in the state of Nevada, and I think that we have about 40 of them are in the Department of Agriculture program, so the remainder of those are broken up between those 9 certifiers. Right now there's only 16 states, including us in the United States, that actually have certification programs at the Department of Agriculture. Even our neighboring state, the largest producer of organics, California, doesn't have one. They use the private certification programs. The thing that's different in terms of ours is that when it was created back in 97, 98, somewhere in there, we actually had a tremendous amount of general fund at the Department of Agriculture. And as you're aware, we had the recession and the downturn, and starting in 2008, we had significant losses in that funding stream. And so that's been something that's been a real struggle for the organics program. As early as 2011, right after I was hired into this position, we raised our prices on the certification program, trying to reach that balance and make it a sustainable program. And we still had some general fund at that point, and that's just continued to be a struggle. At this point, we're about $65,000 in the hole. And so that's other fees that are collected to support other regulatory required fee programs that we're actually having to pull those funds from.
So because of that, we're looking at this program, potentially going away. I think I saw that there are 4 different options.
Correct.
So we're looking at a fee increase, maybe further marketing efforts to get more producers coming on board and paying that fee, right?
Correct. Which what we guesstimate now to make it sustainable, we would basically have to triple the costs of the program. Right now, we're roughly half of what the private certifier is charging out there for those other organic certification programs.
So if that happened, you actually would be charging more than the private certifiers?
Yeah, to get it to be sustainable. Because what you find is that the private certifiers are maybe certifying in multiple states. And so they've got a much larger population they're pulling from, and so that obviously increases their capacity for garnering some efficiencies in there.
Okay, so then your other options are either trying to get more money into your general fund from the legislature. Could
Correct.
that happen?
And that's really, yeah, exactly. And that, when we met with our organic council back in March, that was one of the things that we proposed that they would need to go out and pursue. For us as an agency, it's really hard for us to go out and request general fund, because that would be the only fee-based certification that we would have general fund aligned to. The general fund that we get, which is less than 2% of our whole budget, is targeted towards one of two things: either public safety, the disease control, the labs we've talked about, or focused on matching funds for our federal child nutrition commodity foods programs that we have to bring those largest amounts of money in that generate economic activity within our state.
Okay, so then that leaves us with the option of transitioning your current producers over to the private sector. And I know some of them are pushing back. I've heard from several of them emails to me and to our newsroom about being upset over this. What message do you have for them?
You know, in general, organic certification is not going anywhere in Nevada, because we do have the option to do private certification, obviously. We're taking this to the Board of Agriculture on June 3rd, and we're going to be providing them with these different options and the information that we have, and we're going to provide that to them with a recommendation. We're still gathering information, so I don't have the recommendation today, but we'll put forward a recommendation. The Organic Council itself will bring forward and has their members scheduled to present what their recommendations will be, and then at the end of the day, the Board of Ag may make a decision, or they could postpone a decision. But we would encourage folks that are interested in the topic to attend that meeting and to be heard.
Yeah. Now, all things considered, regardless of which option is chosen, there's a good chance that producers are going to be paying more for their certification. Is that going to be passed down to the consumer, you think?
At any time a producer has to pay more, that cost has to be deferred at some way, some method, some level. But again, you know, we have some of our largest organic producers are not with the Department of Agriculture. They're with private certifiers currently. So I don't think it's a model that will devastate the industry or that sector.
So we're not going to expect to see prices skyrocketing in the store?
No, it wouldn't be that significant, no ma'am.
Okay, is there any other message? We've got maybe a minute and a half left that you want to give to?
Well, I think that, you know, we support the organics program. Our mission is to support agriculture in all its variety, in all its different pieces, and organics is one value-added marketing piece, and we're super supportive of any producer that can take the opportunity to do a value-added approach to marketing their product, and so we're very supportive of that. We have a cost share program that will still remain regardless of what happens on the 3rd, that helps offset those certification costs for producers. And then we have a multitude of different programs through our Governor's Conference on Agriculture, through our Small Farms Conference, to go out and support the small producers, the organic producers, and our large, you know, big producers that we have in the state. We're in it for agriculture.
Yeah. Okay, Jim Barbie, thank you so much for
Very
your time.
nice
I do
meeting.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Now, for more information on all of this, more information on the public meeting that's being held, the organic certification program, and of course what the Nevada Department of Agriculture does in general, just head to our website, ktvn.com, and click on the News Links tab. Now, that is it for this episode of Face the State, but for more information or to see past episodes, just head to our website, once again, ktvn.com. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week.